Alright. So I've seen some comments of you saying, I'm completely confused, Keegan. What in God's name have you got to do? What business have you got to search at your parents' house? I thought you moved out. That is correct. I did move out, but this video I'm gonna go into depth. My father actually explained yesterday that I should make a video on a podcast about why the Dutch government does not allow people to stay in a tiny home at a park 365 days a year, 24/7, 7 days a week. So enjoy this video. So as you obviously know, I got a tiny home. I purchased my tiny home about a year ago. Actually, fun fact, I actually purchased it literally today, a year ago, which is kind of interesting. And I'm very proud of it. Now, I've said it as well, a tiny home was never my intention. I didn't want a tiny home, to be fair, because we almost couple of months, well, a year and a half, 2 years ago, we almost bought a farm home. And if that was the case, I would have built my own actual brick home house on the property, and I would have had my business, and my father obviously would have had his business. But unfortunately, COVID came and completely fucked up our opportunity to get that house. We should have gotten that house, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, we didn't. And the mortgage was about $2,500 a month. But bear in mind, the house was fucking massive. Like, I swear to God, the house was huge, man. It's not a mansion, but it was definitely bigger than the average Dutch home. It was bigger than this house. It was probably twice the size of this house. But the property was also fantastic, and it got a lot of opportunities, so it didn't happen. We've searched houses upon houses. Fucking crap, man. The houses that we found, unfortunately, weren't living up to our expectations for the price, the ground. And I thought, hey, you know what? I want to really move out and kind of do my own thing. Record my videos as much as I can possible, but also feel like independency. I have to get independent eventually. I'm 19 years old. I have to move out. I feel like I didn't get forced to get out of the house. I made a choice myself, to be fairly honest. And if you guys know, I have a tiny home. Now, the strange thing is, unfortunately, and I gotta be very honest with you, I think this is the dumbest shit ever. As you guys may or may not know, unfortunately, nowadays, the house market for a single person, individual, for me, example, we can't afford it, man, which is really frustrating. We unfortunately cannot afford a house nowadays, and unfortunately a lot of cases, buildings that are left behind, people break in. It's illegal, obviously, because it is someone's property. At the end of the day, you got to keep it realistic. I don't agree with the house market nowadays. A house like this right now, this is a $500,000 home. Not even exaggerating. Location, price, everything determines on a house. This house was taxed, valued a couple of months, about a year ago. We wanted to know what a house was worth. It was worth €450,000, which is about a $500,000 plus, which is ridiculous, to be fairly honest. Insane. And it's not even undetached. It's detached to two houses, which I would never pay that amount of money for a house. Mortgage is actually not that bad, to be fair. I'm not gonna say how much, but it's actually not bad. But you get the point, right? So basically, there's this Dutch law, unfortunately, which tells you and says that you aren't allowed to stay in a tiny home at a park for the full year. And yeah, the dumbest reasons ever is basically because they don't want people to be there. They don't want to form a sort of community. They want to try to avoid people making a community. And obviously, I know for a fact the reason why they do this is because it unfortunately doesn't benefit them financially. The fuckers don't give a damn about us. If you actually believe and think the government cares about the people, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to disappoint you, my big friend. They don't. They pretend and act, but they have got no interest in us normal average people. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's all about the money. Unfortunately, money is the only thing that is relevant nowadays. It's always been that, unfortunately, but people pretend that it's not. Dude, if it's about money, people will do the strangest things. They will literally save millions of dollars on all people that actually need it, and they'll waste it on a fucking road for no reason. It's unfortunately priorities and opinions, but I don't find it priorities. But anyways, I'm not, unfortunately, legally, I'm not allowed to, by the law, stay the whole year. The park doesn't make those rules. No, those parks aren't allowed to make those type of rules. Some parks, that's not true. But none of those parks, you won't find a park in the Netherlands. It doesn't matter if you're the fucking owner. Even as the owner, you're not allowed to go out and stay there the full year, because it's considered as a living place, and they don't want to consider it as a living place because it's more a vacation spot, which is ridiculous. Because if they made this legal and just said, okay, fuck it, you guys can live there 365 days a year, you can stay there, sleep there, whatever, that would save and help so many people that have got it financially so difficult. Now, I've got to be very honest. I myself am financially very good, stable. I've been very smart with my money. I've invested it wisely for me in order to get a tiny home. But unfortunately, a lot of kids in my position at this day, they don't have these type of blessings and jobs that I've got. what I do is not normal. Let's keep it very honest here. For a 19-year-old to be doing this kind of stuff and not having to go to school because he's financially independent and he can do it. That's crazy. I haven't gotten used to this though. I haven't gotten comfortable because I feel like you should never be too comfortable. When shit hits the fan, you need a fucking backup plan. That's why, as one of YouTubers that has finished school, because if this goes all down the plan, I don't have a mortgage, and that's fucking amazing, man. The fact that I've got a tiny house that I've got paid off in one go means I don't have to pay it off a month. I spend about $150 a month on my place. Electricity, water, gas. That's fuck all. I swear to God, I spend about 120, 150 a month. Dude, that is insanely cheap. Even if you work at the supermarket, that's affordable. But obviously, if you work at a supermarket, you can't afford a place like this. Unless you make about $2,000 a month, you can pay it off for $500 a month. But I don't advise you. When you buy a tiny home, pay it off in one go, trust me. You want that independency of being financially stable and don't have to worry about paying it off, because paying it off is essentially the same as a mortgage. Let's keep it very honest here. Me paying off that place would have, instead of $39,000, it would have cost me fucking $43,000 because I've had to pay rent above it and I paid it off a month. I was like, you know what, to be fair, I want to pay it off in one go, then it's completely mine. I don't have to worry about paying off anyone because it's not officially mine then, But unfortunately, it's not the case, man. They don't allow you to stay at the park the whole year, and I find that very disappointing, and it's very selfish of the government. I think it's kind of fucked up because it would help so many people that have got it difficult financially, and it would definitely sort of minimalize and crush the housing market's value as well. Like, tiny homes are the future, man. I think tiny homes are futuristic as well. I think if I could give you the biggest advice, why the fuck would you get a mortgage? I've always told my parents I kind of feel like a mortgage is a very big waste of money. It is. Let's be honest here. Even though you got a very nice house yourself, you've got to be honest and tell yourself a mortgage is one of the most death-crushing things for people within society. Because even if like my brother could lose his job and he's going to be stressing about his mortgage. I don't have to stress about that, and that's kind of why I'm also very glad that I purchased a tiny home. Is because of the fact that I don't have to worry about paying it off. I paid it off. It's mine. It's completely mine. It's on my name. It's completely my tiny home. I've got ownership over the home. No one can tell me that, oh, it's not yours. Fuck no. I paid it off. It's mine completely. If I paid it, it's mine. And that's not my thing. I wish they allowed you to stay at the park the whole year. I really wish, because it would have been fantastic for me. But the park doesn't make these rules, unfortunately. The government makes. And like I've said, this would help so many people that are financially in debt or haven't got it good financially. If they can afford a tiny home for $300-500 a month, that's fucking incredible, man. That's really fantastic. But they don't do that, unfortunately. And I'm kind of disappointed because I know for a fact you guys in America are super open about it. And that's what I do feel like. This country is it's a very free country, don't get it wrong, right? We got a lot of good stuff. But one thing I must be honest and very completely honest with, I feel like you guys in America with these tiny homes are way easier. You purchase a plot of land, it's fucking yours. You go into a community, you rent it out, but you can stay there for the whole year. They don't do that here, unfortunately, and it's got to do with noise complaints, drugs, because often, unfortunately, on these parks, they do have people selling drugs on them. On my park, I don't know. They've probably definitely have done it on the past, probably. I mean, let's be honest here, the 70s, 80s, fucking hell. I actually have got no clue how old the park is, but it's one of the nicest parks in the whole region. It's one of 3 or 4 in the region as well where I live, which is fantastic, and I love the park. The people are very nice in general, but I'm kind of disappointed that I can't stay there the whole year, because I'm like, well, I bought the place, I'm renting out this property. I would love to stay here the whole year. I think all of us would love to stay the whole year, and also the park would make more money, which makes a lot of sense, because they are literally losing tens of thousands of dollars a month because they have to shut down. Unfortunately, you're only allowed to now at the moment until the 26th. I'm unfortunately only allowed to go there around Saturday and Sunday, around 10 and 4 o'clock, which is a shame. So next week, Sunday, I'm definitely going to go highly likely past my place, because I want to just chill for a couple of hours. The reason why I also got a tiny home is because I wanted some peace, and I also wanted to have independency and more freedom and just kind of do my thing during the day. So I hope I explained this video good for you guys. My best advice is, fuck the mortgages. Don't make the banks rich. Don't make the banks empty out your pockets, and just, for God's sake, get a tiny home, for sure, man. The reason why I don't have an own plot of land is because it's fucking expensive, man. I swear to God, these prices are not normal. They're abnormal, to be fair with you guys. These prices per square meters are like, they're asking $4,000 per square meter. I'm like, No, and then it's not even just the money they're asking, it's also about the fact you've got to consider that they could potentially put a whole freaking neighborhood there one day, a flat, anything, stores. And that's what I'm also unfortunately scared of. And that's the nice thing of living on the park. You don't have to worry about neighborhoods around you because they can't build it, which is fantastic. Anyways, I've gotten enough information. I hope I really was able to help you guys out with this information in this video. Let me know what you guys think of this situation. I think they should definitely let people stay there for the whole year. But they don't, because otherwise they don't make money on it as well, which is unfortunate. It's all about money at the end of the day. Let's be honest, man. Money is the only thing that plays a part within society. So, thank you so much for watching. Peace out.